Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. New week, new theme. We're going to be looking at wild screamers this week. Any vocal performance that is a scream or a fry scream or a higher pitched harsh, whatever you want to think of it, that is impressive or unique or anything in that area. It could be a single moment of a track, or it could be just the way that they perform their harshes. Today we're going to be looking at Anaal Nathrakh, Forging Towards the Sunset, live from Roskilde 2013. I was going to say Rock Slide for some reason. All right, let's dive into this and see what they're bringing to the table today.
Cheers, guys! This will be our last song. Thank you one last time. Enjoy yourselves. Hopefully you won't die on the way home. That's the best I can do. I'm not very optimistic.
That's the best I could do. I like this guy already.
The last song is called Forging Towards the Sunset.
Let's get fucking mad, come.
Holding that groove out of nowhere. This is just bonkers. It really is. I really love this vocal harmony right here too. Even putting in some harmony into this guitar line right here.
Cheers, Roskilde! We're Anaal Nathrakh. Good night.
Alright, so preface, I understand the audio quality in that was not the best. All right, I'm sure there's going to be some people who don't make it to this analysis section. They go straight to the comments. You need to listen to the studio version better, or listen to a different live version, better production quality, better audio quality. I guess that's more accurate. Audio quality. Like, I get it, right? But this was recommended specifically for this vocal performance, and I think that despite the rest of the band kind of blending into a singular sound, it was clear enough for me to understand what was going on while also really spotlighting the vocals, which is the purpose of this week. So, yeah, like I fully acknowledge the audio was not the best. But let me talk about the music real quick, because the vocals, I'm not going to forget about them. The music, I might. Um, so a lot of this feels like black metal to me. I'm not sure if this is black metal because the production quality, the audio quality was a little iffy on it, right? But I get the vibe that there's a lot of tremolo picking. We had those heavy double bass kicks at the end. We have very extreme vocals on top of that. It seems to really be going for a wall of sound style of just this unified musical feel, that oppression, that constant attack kind of vibe that black metal goes for. And I wager that if I listen to the studio version, it's going to have some production quality to it that is going to feel very black metal. It's going to be, oppressive and fuzzy and more like mid-fi, right? Not hi-fi like radio music or popular mainstream stuff, but not maybe not lo-fi like some of the lo-fi black metal we've checked out in the past. Probably somewhere in the middle where they're going for more of that wall of sound, super fuzzy, very compressed kind of sounds, with all the attacks, the double bass kicks, the snare hits, the tremolo picking. So, viewing it from that angle, it's very what I would call typical black metal. It has all of the mainstays there. We had the tremolo picking with the dyads. Each guitar took one note, and they would play around with those notes. Sometimes they'd move together, and we'd get these static dyads. And then other times they would move in different directions or in different times, and we get some of these emotionally moving dyads where we kind of get a flow of chord progression within each bar rather than having the chord change every bar. The drums also kind of worked within the same realm of just kind of being real steady, uh, playing eighth notes in a lot of places. We had the 16th note double bass kicks at the end, but the majority of this was mostly eighth notes with strong snare accents. Just, very standard black metal playing. Same, like I said, same goes for the guitars. So, and we also seem to have some sort of A B A B C A B pattern, I think we were going with. Just a pretty typical alternation of verse and chorus. There was a bridge in there where we had that nice guitar duet that played for like a whole 4 bars, I think, before the vocals came back, and we went back into, like I said, I can't remember if we came back into the verse or and then finished out with the chorus, or if we came back right into the chorus. I don't quite remember. But overall, it's a very standard structure, which fits well with black metal. It's not a. I mean, there is some more progressive black metal stuff that we've listened to, especially when we get into some of the black metal epics. But for the most part, from my experience, if a black metal song is under 5 minutes, it's probably going to follow a pretty standard structure to it. So yeah, musically, this is just black metal, and I think if the vocals weren't here, I would appreciate it for being very iterative black metal and just kind of continue on. I don't think that there's anything here musically, at least in this single song, that really stands out to me. Again, the audio quality is not the best for analyzing a specific aspect of the song, but that's what I got out of it from what I could hear. It could be that they have unique guitar tones or really nice chordal stuff, or maybe something else that just wasn't very present in this video. But based purely on this, musically, this is just pretty standard black metal. Now, of course, The big thing here is the vocals, right? That's why it was suggested. That's the theme of the week. That I think is what most people are going to be taking away from this. And let's talk about those vocals. First of all, there's two vocalists, the guitarist and the lead vocalist. And they're kind of all over the place in style, in rhythm, in pacing, in phrasing. Sometimes we have a nice call and response, sometimes they're overlapping, sometimes we get straight up harmonies going on, textural layering, I suppose we can call it. And even our main vocalist has a very powerful clean that gets sung against one of these very harsh, shrill screams. And it's just a lot to take in. I honestly don't know what my face looked like during this. I was very fixated on the performance itself because honestly, in a lot of sections, I was trying to figure out what was going on vocally. I saw the guitarist, and he seemed to have a lower growl all the time, I think. Nope, not all the time, because at the beginning, had a bit of a higher one at the verse, I think it was. I don't remember now. I got to go back and watch this again. I was just transfixed. And I'll be honest, right? Usually I'm hyper focused on minutia and really trying to focus in on smaller ideas so that I can speak about them in this analysis. And this song just caught me way off guard, and I ended up listening to it rather casually for a lot of the performance. It just really, like I said, just caught me off guard. I was not expecting anything like this, and it just took me right out of that moment. And I honestly forgot I was in front of a camera and recording and like trying to remember all this stuff. Um, so yeah, if I ever say like, oh, I don't remember exactly what happened here, it's like, dude, it's only a 3 minute song. Your memory is pretty good for 10 plus minute songs. Like that's why. Like I was really focused in on just absorbing the song as a whole rather than really fixating on it. Um, so yeah, we have the two vocalists. The primary vocalist seems to have a mostly harsh clean while also having a bit of a growl and having a very straight clean, just a normal clean vocal. Um, and then we have the guitarist who kind of mixes up between the shriller one and sort of a lower growl. Interestingly, and I did not see any visual indication of this in the video, during the chorus, I think the main vocalist is providing the cleans here. That is layered against these very shrill highs, and I didn't see anybody performing them. Multiple times they showed the guitarist and just not in front of a microphone. So I'm wondering if they used a backing track there, if that shows up on the studio. Like I have a lot of questions about this specific section, primarily because it's awesome. I talk a lot about dual vocalists. I love multiple vocalists in band. I love combining not only just layering harshes, but combining harshes with cleans. And I think this right here is a really interesting way to go about doing it. A lot of the time in the past, when we have something like this, we're usually layering a clean high and a growl, especially in symphonic metal, where we have female cleans on top and then a male growl under. I should say in my limited experience with all of this extreme side of metal, that's the combination I typically hear. I like this because it was inverted. We did have a bit of a higher range on that clean, but it was about an octave lower than the perceived pitch of this shrill harsh. And it's just a really interesting combination of sounds to me. Plus the harsh had an interesting texture because harshes have this crackling element to them. It's like we're applying a natural compression to it based on the fry sound that we can make. That like we're putting that and we're just amplifying it. So we're going to have this natural popping and cracking with it, but it was kind of simultaneously fast and slow at the same time. Like usually I associate lower tones with slower crackles with more space between each pop. And the higher you get, I kind of associate faster pops and crackles. And this was interesting because I kind of did both. And then also was just like way up there pitch wise. And so like the harsh itself, the scream itself, perfect for Wild Screamers Week because I have no idea how to even talk about how it's created. But yeah, it's very unique on its own. It's interesting on its own. It's a fascinating texture, and it's just kind of mind-boggling the range that it hits. But I think it's kind of emphasized even more just purely based on the idea that it is paired with this very powerful, wide clean. And I absolutely love that. As soon as that chorus comes in, he says, forging towards the sunset with those dual vocals, it is a big moment. And I I'm gonna have to check out the studio version of this just to see what's going on and see if I can hear anything else about it. Maybe some musical things that didn't, shine through this production right here, or just get more of a more doctored version of the song. I suppose you can say a clearer version of the song. But like that part, it's so powerful. And the thing is I think that the audio quality here kind of hides a bit of that power because I can feel it being real big, but because of the quality, it kind of feels flat. It's loud, but it's not dynamic. And I think that's the big thing right here for me. So I'm definitely going to have to give this a studio listen. But, it is just big. I think the shrill harshes alone would be great on this section. I think the clean, very wide, big vocals would do wide on this section. Bringing them together is just a stroke of genius. I don't know who decided to do that. I don't know who realized that they could make this sound, but somehow it just works so well together. I also mentioned that they had some call and response in the verse, and I really enjoy this sort of multi-layered melodic approach that they went with, where one vocalist would go, and even before they were finished, at times the other would come in, and they would just sort of like do this layering idea where they're taking turns, but also not allowing each other to finish, and it creates a lot of chaotic momentum in the song that again might be replicated in the music, but I just didn't quite feel because of the audio quality here. But there's just a lot of passion going on into this and a lot of musicianship, not only just with the guitarist, the bassist, the drummer. I mean, there's definitely some endurance that goes into playing black metal with all the tremolo picking and all that, and the faster notes and the drums and all this stuff. Like, I have a strong appreciation for anyone who plays black metal, but again, at least for me, the big spotlight here is the vocals, and there's just so much variety here, and it's kind of jaw dropping the way that they can go about making these sounds and pairing them together in ways that is consonant. Like, I don't understand that. I think the growls I can kind of get used to, the harsh shrills, I think I'd have a problem listening to those on their own, but paired with the main vocalist's harshes and just kind of bouncing back and forth or layering them or anything like that, it just really works for me for some reason, and it sounds great. Um, so yeah, I am kind of blown away here. I really hope that some vocal coach that has a reaction channel has checked this out. Maybe not this specific song, although that would be pretty neat. But this band, and I'd love to get a little bit more insight into how this stuff is made. Maybe I'll go find Cardivox, see if they've done it yet. Um, Cardivox Academy, because that dude knows his harsh vocals. See if he's checked out this band before. I'm flabbergasted. I really am. I don't know what else to say. We're gonna dive into some lyrics here because I can't really comment on the production, and because of the production, I can't really comment on the music, and I've kind of gushed about the vocals a lot, so it's going to be a bit of a shorter reaction, but I'm walking away amazed and have a new band to check out. I call that a win. Ooh. The lyrics here are transcribed by by fans. They may not be accurate, and some lines just have question marks. Um, does Anaal Nathrakh not publish their lyrics in like CD leaflets or vinyl inserts or something on their website somewhere? It's wild to me because like I don't think anybody can decipher what these people are saying. Granted, again, audio quality, stuff like that. But there's so much sound and texture obfuscating the syllabic ideas here, at least in this performance of it, that I could barely make a single word out. I don't think I made a single word out. And the fact that people have possibly put together some lyrics with a few lines missing, I mean, that's better than I could have done. So I guess we're going to run through an incomplete, possibly incorrect set of lyrics and see what's going on here. Calm may reign in heaven, but all is ending here. Scream a little more, believe with all your being. And there's some lines in the middle missed there. Uh, Believe in nothing shining brighter than the sun. Take up the battle of contemplating God. Okay. Forging towards the sunset, denying bitter reality, and in that desperate moment, weigh the thoughts of true clarity, make the darker world a lie. Everyone. Making calls for war to enlighten everyone. So that's interesting. He's basically calling for a war against darkness. It says, scream and believe with all of your being, and believe in nothing brighter than the sun. So the sun is the brightest thing you understand, and take up a battle contemplating God. So, I mean, basically, he's saying we need to believe in only what we can measure on, science, facts, stuff like that. Um, and that we should forge towards the sunset that allows us true clarity and make the dark world a lie. Like, get rid of this darkness and bring about brightness. Interesting. But down here, all is ending. Scream until you soar. Push back, pull over, having the sleight of thought. That's a weird line. Hilarious. You thought it could be other. Wow. Okay, here's something I'm not going to repeat. Uh, that's an interesting line. You're welcome to go look up the lyrics if you want, if that's accurate. That line could probably, well, I'm not monetized anyway, so say that line could get me demonetized. Not going to say that though. But basically, it alludes to the idea of succumbing to wars or history's power, in a sense. Interesting. Forging towards the suns. Oh, that's the chorus again. The bridge says, all that you've desired, all that you could love, all you've considered sacred, bonds, intentions, potentials, betrayals, lusts, count for precisely naught. Give the lie to all sense of is or ought. So everything that you've loved or think is sacred or that you've desired or have lusted after or anytime you felt betrayed or any potential yet, basically anything of this universe counts for nothing. Okay, so this has taken a weird turn. It almost seems like this war is against everything. It's almost turned from, anti-belief to nihilism. which, I mean, it's black metal. I probably should have guessed that. And then we come back to the chorus. So it is an ABABCB idea. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of this though. Uh, Again, I don't even know if the lyrics are accurate, but that just seems to be what it is to me. It's a call for nihilism, to just forget that, or to reject anything that could be anything because nothing matters, and just focus on the sunlight. Focus on the brightness in life. Forget about everything else. But yeah, I don't know, man. Forging towards the sunset. Anaal Nathrakh. This is where you guys come in. Hit me up with some comments. Let me know anything about this. Like I said, if you happen to know of a reaction channel or a vocal coach who doesn't necessarily need to react to them, just has information on some of this technique, that would help me out. I don't have to go looking for it at that point. Why reinvent the wheel if someone's already done the research? Point it my direction. I am going to check out a studio version of this on my own, and I'm real interested in that, in the vocal aspect of this. But anyways, your thoughts, your opinions. If you think I was right, if you think I was actually, I didn't really talk about much. Just kind of gushed over the band here. Anyways, comments, do them. You know how the comments work. Above the comment section is a description box, and there's a link for Linktree. It'll take you to this menu right here. It has everything related to the channel: Patreon, Discord, Twitter. I don't even know. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Go ahead and check it out. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. All right, we have a special selection coming up next. Otherwise, be back tomorrow. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC. We'll look at another Wild Screamer and check out another special selection. Until next time, remember to be critical but not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.